All right. Let's see if this is going to work. How's it going out there in Happy Land? Y'all good looking sexy people doing all right tonight? Welcome, Wizard, Warrior, Wanderer, Wayfarer, and Wildcat alike, wherever you are, whoever you are, and whenever you may be receiving this transmission. Welcome to the show. This is your host for the hour, your friend and well-wisher, Frank Monday, coming at you straight out the central kingdom of the Celestial Dragon here in Twilight Zone, Old Peking. Far behind the bamboo firewall, getting the transmission done. Today we're going to do coffee and news with Frank Monday for the 9th of December, 2024. If it's your first time, don't let it be your last time. Hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Let it out. Command yourself to relax. Greetings out in the ideas room. Free gift from God. How the hell are you, man? You want to jump on and chat for a while? You got anything going on in your neck of the woods, man? The Jersey Devil guys out there in east of the Rockies, east of the Smokies even, right? Yeah, take your time, man. I'll be here. I'm going to check out some news, I thought. Just had a quick window open up where I've got a minute. Get dressed, yeah. Put on a fucking pair of pants, man. No, you don't put any clothes on. As long as you don't turn on your camera and show us your D. Yeah, don't do that, all right? All right, I'm going to get into it. Take a deep breath, command yourself to relax. And I always like to say a prayer to start off the show. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth, maker of all things visible and invisible. We adore thee and we invoke thee. Teach us those things which we must know for the completion of the great work. In the glory of thine ineffable name. So it is commended and confirmed. Oh, mote it be. Amen. Thought I'd look at the headlines today, see what's going on in the news. What do you guys think about that? Trump calls for immediate ceasefire in Ukraine after meeting Zelensky in Paris. So it looks like Mr. T was hanging out in Paris. I heard a lot of people comment that he probably shouldn't have done that, right? He probably shouldn't have gone to Paris. Too dangerous for him at this time. People keep gunning for him, right? What do you guys think about that? What do you think about Mr. T hanging out with Zelensky? I don't know about this Zelensky guy, man. He seems like a dubious character. What do you guys think about him? How about this situation where a top internet sleuth say they won't help find the United Healthcare killer? Does that look like an interesting news story? Did you guys hear about that one? I guess they've revealed his face and they finally figured out who the dude is. So that's kind of a trippy thing. I wonder if he wrote a manifesto, why he did it. Here's the top things trending right now. College football, Syria, SNL's cold open, the Kansas City Chiefs. Did they win a game? Must have. Those are the top items trending. Syrian government falls into stunning end to 50-year Assad family rule. Don't know if I'm interested in that. What about you? Are you interested in that news story? Let me know what news story you guys are interested in, and I'll check the one that you guys like the best. How long does it take a Christmas tree to grow? You might be surprised. I'm guessing 6 months. That would be my guess, because they're not very big. All right. I'm double checking to see if anybody's out there in Happy Land. Let's find out. That's the most interesting story, I think, on that page, in my opinion. What are your guesses? See if you're right. It's a 2-minute read. How long does it take a Christmas tree to grow? The right answer might surprise you. What do you think? Put your guesses in the chat room. I can still hear that music in the background, so I'm going to turn it even lower. Go back here and check the comments. You hear? Okay, good. Jump on, man. Let's talk about Christmas trees. I'll get your feedback. I'd like to know what you think. Honestly, you think 3 months? I'm thinking 6. Your guess is 90 days? Wow. That seems like not enough time to me. Or you need the link? I put the link right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. StreamYard link N4WUB889BH. Type that into your browser window, and you too can participate in the show. Free Gruff from God says he might come up. He said it needs 10 minutes, though. I'm going to come and just, okay, brushing your teeth. Man, you're fucking getting ready. It's like a job interview. Jesus. Let me get back over here to the news then. What do you guys think? How long does it take a Christmas tree to grow? Put your answers in the chat room and let's find out together. Okay, look at all these Christmas trees. I'm thinking from the time they stick it in the ground till the time it gets to this size, I'm thinking 6 months. 5 to 6 months. Ever wondered how long it takes a Christmas tree to grow from a tiny seedling? They're not starting with seedlings, though. Imagine, I think they're probably starting with clippings. Imagine this. You're snuggling up by the fire and admiring that perfectly decorated Christmas tree. But behind its charm is a journey that takes several years. Wow. Growing a Christmas tree is like nurturing a long-term relationship with nature, not a quick fix. Here are the secrets behind how long it takes for a Christmas tree to grow and what makes that holiday staple so special. I guess they do grow from seed. That's probably why. I was thinking they probably grew from clippings. But it says they grow from seed. So the magic begins with a tiny seed, which once planted starts its journey as a sapling. In those first couple of years, the tree is all about establishing a strong root system. It's a crucial stage where the young tree lays the groundwork for future growth. Process might seem slow during these early years, but it's all part of the process. Wow, most Christmas trees need 7 to 10 years to reach the ideal height for decorating, which is typically around 6 or 7 feet. This means that the tree you pick out at your local lot this year may have been growing for nearly a decade. As the tree matures, it begins to grow faster. By the time it's around 4 or 5 years old, it can add up to 12 to 18 inches of height annually, according to the Old Farmer's Almanac. There you have it, man. My 6 months was way off. 7 to 10 years, huh? That's a long time. Longer than I thought. Longer than I thought. What do you think of her? Not a typical dating platform. She's ready for action, man. Are you looking for a gal like that in your life? Let's get back over there and have a look at her. That's her right there. What do you think? Is she pretty? Do you like her? Yeah, she's kind of, she disappeared. We're going to lose that ad. And then you get this guy instead. Co-founder of Google Brain, Andrew Ng, recommends using these 5 books will turn your life around. I don't know. You know, I always look at the person when I think about their advice. And I'm like, do I really want to look like this guy? Do I want him giving me advice on how to turn my life around? I don't think so. He doesn't look like a trustworthy individual. Yeah. He doesn't. I don't think so. NYC mayor says suspect identified in the United Healthcare executive's murder. New York Post reports. The net is tightening, Adams told reporters. A police athletic league holiday party in Harlem. Man, he's partying it up. Doesn't seem like he cares that much about that guy getting murdered when he's out partying. $10,000 reward for homicide. For information regarding a homicide. Wednesday, December 4th at approximately 6:40 a.m. in front of the Hilton Hotel located at 1335 Avenue of the Americas in the confines of the 18th Precinct in Manhattan, Gotham City. The perpetrator, pictured above, discharged a firearm. All right, let's pull you in here. Welcome to the show, King of Death.
Yo.
How are you, man? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. You're looking good with your pan avatar. As the founder of death, the 9th layer of hell. You've got the pipes ready to summon the rats from their holes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, King of Death. Can you hear me, King of Death?
Now. A lot of fucking black people coming in over the holidays.
Yeah, what are they doing?
Yeah, well, some of them are murdering each other or overdose on drugs, and that's pretty much it. That's how black people die. There's really no other, or they get diabetes.
Diabetes.
So, yeah.
From all that fried chicken tender and hot mustard.
Yeah, all that fried chicken and that picable now.
Picable good stuff.
That picable. But yeah, it's real busy in the 9th layer of hell. A lot of people don't know about the 9th layer. But
right.
It exists. It exists, and I'm in charge of it now, and yeah, it's okay.
Okay. What's the weather down there like? Is it hot like they say it is?
It's cold. It's cold. Very, very cold. Yeah, people think that hell is hot, but it's actually freezing cold because that's worse. And
yeah, I can imagine.
Satan actually lives underwater.
Does he?
Yeah, it says it in the Talmud, I think, actually.
Okay.
He's like in a little... It's a bit confusing, but he's like, he has like this rock that he uses like as a door. I don't know. Someone might know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I hadn't overly familiarized myself with it in some time. I was checking out the news here. What was your guess on how long it takes a Christmas tree to grow? Did you hear the answer? No, did you hear the answer?
Yeah, so listen. So like every year, what the fuck? Every year they
What do you think of Mr. T? Every year, what's going on?
They do they do the Christmas tree in New York City. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
They have the big, and one year, probably like 10 years ago, the tree came from my town.
Did it?
Legit came, yeah, it did, and it was like a big deal. Okay. And the tree was fucking huge, and they chopped it down and transported it. So I thought that these fucking trees take, I don't know, like, I see people selling trees. I thought they'd take only a couple months to come up, but I guess not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe 6 months. I thought they'd maybe use a clipping and then just stick it in the ground and the tree grow up. But yeah, that doesn't make sense. It said they take 7 to 10 years for your average 6 to 7 foot tree. So these trees, man, at this big, this is the Rockefeller Center.
Yeah.
In New York.
Yeah. I want to. I think I'm gonna. I want to go.
Yeah. That probably takes 20 years to grow that tree.
Oh yeah. That tree was there. The tree that was there, it was so like it wasn't. I don't know how it got in New York City. I can drive. I'm gonna drive by it where the tree used to be, but it was pretty big. It was pretty fucking big. I don't know if you need to like apply for it, or I don't know if they were like purposely growing the tree for it to be because it was pretty big, and the place that does like that had the trees. They sell Christmas trees and other like plants and shit. It's called the Tree King, actually.
Is it?
So yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, I saw your stand-up comedy. That was so
Okay.
funny. It was funny.
Yeah. What'd you think of that? That's pretty funny, huh? I had like I had like 5 years worth of videos on Funny or Die, that website, but like the night before they deleted all user created content on that website, and they only gave you like 24 hours to download your videos, and I didn't have any of them saved on my computer, so I grabbed like 2 videos off there, and I was like, fuck, I can't download all these videos in 24 hours. And so the next day they blocked access, and they kicked all. I thought YouTube was going to do that too, because it seemed like a lot of websites that had originally allowed people to upload content, they were deleting it.
Yeah, I know Funny or Die as a YouTube channel, right?
Right.
Because I guess
they still have.
that was a long time ago.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know they were on YouTube. They had their own website. It was pretty cool if you were doing stand-up comedy, because you could upload your comedy, and then people could click Funny or Die. And if people clicked Funny, if you got more funny votes, it would upvote your video. And so everyone here in Beijing was doing it. Like I encouraged them to do it. I'm the one that started it. I mean, I'm the first one to start uploading videos to it from Beijing Comedy Club China.
Yeah.
And then I got Nico Martinez doing it, and Gus Tate doing it, and a couple of other guys.
Well, yeah, if you didn't know, they had a pretty successful comedy channel, and it would feature not necessarily stand-up comedy, but there would be skits from, I don't know exactly who. I guess it'd be random people from all over. But that's what I remember Funny or Die being on YouTube. So
yeah, they changed it. They killed it, man. It was a good thing, and they killed it.
I wanted to say this as well. I think comedy is dead in general. Like, like it's not really a thing anymore. And anytime you say anything in the name of comedy or humor, you get backlash for it. This he's on his breaks, but there's no reason for him to be on his breaks. But
are you driving right now?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's not like Beijing. This is, it's like America. Like it's not. It's easy, Like.
So what do you think killed comedy, man? What do you think it was? What was the nail in the coffin for comedy in general?
Well, I was gonna say, like, for example, the reason why I could make that argument so easily is because what outlet or what platform is there for comedy? There is none. There used to be like HBO or Comedy Central and shit like that. And even like Netflix is kind of like that platform for comedy is kind of dead. And then the comedy that's on there isn't even good. Like I like shit like Richard Pryor and Andrew Dice Clay and Sam Kinison and like shit like that, where like it's like innovative and like they're pushing the boundaries and like they're like real artists and comedians, and it's just not like that anymore. There's not really any, and like the best comedian or like the comedian nowadays that's closest like to something like that is just mediocre, honestly. So
right.
I really don't like any comedians nowadays. Like I like their podcasts or their personality. But what about just stand-up comedy like Patrice O'Neal? Like even Patrice O'Neal, he died in 2011. And that was 10 years ago. Yeah, that was 10 years ago, 4 years ago. You know what
Yeah.
I'm You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's just not the same. It's just horrible. Like Joe Rogan, like I like his podcast. I don't like any of those guys. I don't like their comedy. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's original. Like I don't know. It's sad, really.
So did you hear the story about this shooter in New York City that shot that guy?
Yeah, I seen that.
And so why is it an important story? Is it um
Dude,
because the
that's
guy was
scary.
a
Like I just said to you that I want to go to New York City for the tree, but
right. Well,
that's
the
how
guy
that.
was he was a CEO of a like a health insurance thing or something, right?
Yeah, United Healthcare, I think.
Yeah, so the guy that killed him probably had a grudge, like maybe his mom died of cancer or something, and they didn't
Oh
help
no,
her
did you
out.
see the video or not?
I saw the video. Yeah, he looked like he was a pretty good shot.
Yeah, I think that was an assassin. That was like
It kind of seemed that way, right?
yeah, that's yeah.
And they got the guy's identity now. They say authorities have identified the man suspected of killing United Healthcare executive Brian Thompson and are closing in on him. The net is tightening, Adams told reporters.
Yeah, but they don't give his identity though.
No, they didn't release his identity to the public. Not yet, huh?
Which I doubt that they even got his identity.
Really?
I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt that. Because if they got his identity, they'd blast it all over the everywhere. I mean, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they usually do, right?
Yeah, these type of things. Listen, I don't like the cops. I think, I mean, I say this all the time. I'm just gonna be a comedian. Fuck a cop. I'm gonna be a comedian. But if I wanted to, I could be a cop right now. Right now, I swear. And people like hear me say that, and they think I'm exaggerating or whatever. I'm not. I'm not. I can not only can I meet the physical requirements, I think I would place top 10.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I'm in shape, dude. The running part, I mean, I can't see how I wouldn't come top 10, top 5 at least. I can't see how I wouldn't. And with that being said, what I'm trying to really make my point across is that anybody could be a cop. They're just handing out those positions, and it's not right. Someone like me, I shouldn't be a cop. But like, if I could, all you have to do, it's different for each state, but all you have to do is run a mile and a half in 15 minutes and 30 seconds.
A mile and a half in 15 minutes and 30 seconds?
I could do that in 10 minutes, probably 12 minutes.
Okay. 10, 12 minutes.
And then, well, this is how it's like a circuit. So you do like push-ups, minute break, sit-ups, minute break. Then you do a 200-meter run or 100-meter run. Then you get like 2 minutes break, and then you do the mile and a half at the end. And I could do that. Like, I could be a cop. But why? But like, I just don't want to be a cop. And then like, I don't know. Life is confusing. I don't know if you ever felt like that.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. We got a chart here on the PAT, physical aptitude test.
Yeah, it's different for every state. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming since there's so many people in the small amount of space that I live in, I'm assuming the requirements might be a little bit more difficult because the reach is so much more. There's more bandwidth, right?
Yeah.
So there's a bigger reach, so they have more options. you know how your wife does it when she's fucking, you know,
Yeah. Let's
how your
check it
wife
out.
does it. She
If
has all these fucking options. She fucking wants to make her requirements a little bit more difficult.
yeah, you got push-ups. You got to be able to do. I don't know. What do you got to be able to do? Push-ups.
Frank, listen to me. I could drink 6 beers and do it.
Yeah.
I can drink 6
Sit-ups.
beers and do it. Yeah, just sit-ups, push it, whatever you want me to do. But you know what else they do, Frank? They spray you with fucking pepper spray, I think, as
Do
well.
they? Yeah.
But I don't give a fuck.
Vertical jump, 15 inches. I think anyone could do that.
Yeah, vertical jump, sit-ups,
30 sit-ups in a
300
minute.
meter run.
Yeah, 1.5 mile run in 15 minutes, you said, right?
Is that right?
Yeah, it says 15 minutes or less.
I mean, sign me up right now.
Yeah,
like,
you could get that.
I'm so convinced that I could do it. I would, like, because my friend's doing it. I was like, dude, can I just show up and do it? Like, I don't even want to be a cop. I just want to show up and do it and see where I'm at with this shit. You know? But yeah, man, I don't know. Did you ever? I don't know, man. I might have to turn to that one day. Hopefully not. I want like an office job.
I did. I actually looked into it when I came back to the States in 2017. I was staying with my sister, and she's married to a guy, and that guy's little brother was a bodyguard for like Kim Kardashian. He had a pretty high profile job. He'd like drive Kim Kardashian around in his Mustang, and he had a truck that was set up like a camper trailer with like police observation stuff, like a headquarters center. He had his rifle in it and stuff, and so he'd wear a gun, and he said he was making like $4,000 to $5,000 a day for protecting celebrities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't work all the time, but he would work, a few days a week. If she wanted to go shopping or something, she'd call him, and he'd go pick her up and take her, down to like downtown LA or whatever to go shopping. And he'd get paid big money. And I said, I'm like, man, I'd like to do that. I said, that would be cool. I said, could you train me? And he said, first off, you probably need about 10 years of law enforcement experience. He said, after you got 10 years of law enforcement experience, that any private security company will hire you.
Yeah. I was going to say that is probably the best perk of doing that job, but nobody mentions it because all they want is the fucking pension, you know, shit like that. I had an idea where I was like, maybe I could start my own security company because my father has 30 years in corrections. My brothers, and he also had, he's trained with weapons and firearms and shit like that. He was a lieutenant, so he was pretty high up there. So he knows, so yeah, he can do that. And my brothers are also in the Army or whatever you want to fucking call it, the Navy.
Yeah, I think you could do it with less. And the other thing is too, you could be like you could be the management, right? The organizer, the supervisor, and hire people. I think 3, 4, 5 years would be enough, and you just study. So I bought 3 books on how to become an FBI agent because I was thinking about joining the FBI. I thought it might be more interesting. I might be able to work on like international criminal cases, stuff like that. So I bought there's a book you can get to study for the test because there's a knowledge lecture test too. I don't know if there is in the police department.
Yeah.
Is there? Yeah, there should be.
Like a written test, yeah.
Right. Yeah, so I bought those books and I started studying them, and I made like a plan to do it. And then when I started talking actually to the recruiters and like the academy, they said I would have to be in the US for 7 years consecutive without leaving. Because
dude. Yeah, that shit's serious.
Yeah, when they found out how long I'd been in China, they're like, we couldn't even fucking hire you, man. There's no way to do a background check on you. You've been abroad too long.
Yeah, that
So
sucks.
yeah, so
That
that shut me
sucks.
down. That shut me down on that path. But I was looking into it, and I'd already started studying, and I was getting all the material and stuff together.
And compared to all the fucking scumbags are in it anyway.
And I was PTing daily too. I was going out for runs and doing swim.
Really?
Yeah, I was motivated to do it. I wanted to do it. I thought it would be cool.
That's funny. Every time I say something, you literally have like a legit, genuine connection to that, which I think is
Yeah,
dope.
I've been through a few different jobs, and I've thought about a lot of jobs. And like, actually, my dad, he did a little bit of law enforcement in LA when he first got out of the Navy, but he didn't like it. He only did it for like maybe a year and a half, and then he gave it up. But he was on the sharpshooter team for the police department for like 20 years. He participated in the competition every year, man. He loved it. So he would do
Yeah,
like
that's
rifle.
dope. That's dope. I
Yeah,
like to compete, man. I'm a savage. I like it when it's me versus you. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Fuck it. And then I like it. I just like that shit, man. And like, it just reminds me of high school. I remember like my last 2 years on varsity, like playing varsity soccer, like the summer and like the winter time, I went real hard, like training by myself. And
In
I,
in in the area where you're at, would you be like interested in getting into like a general city PD, or would you be like with a sheriff's department?
yeah, I'm not too sure. I just want to like, I know, like you were just saying, like your dad didn't like it or whatever. Like, I already know if I were to do that shit, I wouldn't like it at all. And I'd be
Yeah,
miserable. And like, I'd be like my father a little bit, which like, I
yeah.
don't really
There
mind being like that.
there's too
But
many fucking rules and too many restrictions on your like private
it's
life, I
just a
think.
shitty job. Yeah. I mean, there's so many
Yeah,
layers that go into it, especially like I remember like King Stefan, that little faggot.
yeah.
I was like,
Homo.
dude, like the area that I'm in is like
So gay. That
dangerous.
guy's so gay. Yeah,
But yeah, like being a police officer around here, like it's dangerous. Like you could eat, like, saying like being a police officer around here and accepting the fact that you could die on the job at any moment is like an understatement. Be, like I don't think people like I live in like the murder capital of the United States. Like one, and it's top five. It's top five where I'm at.
is it? Wow.
It's easily. I mean, yeah. If you want, you Google Trent, New Jersey. It's very bad, very very bad here. Just like L.A. L.A. You're right. You be a cop in L.A. L.A.'s worse than where I'm at, but because it's L.A.'s so much bigger, and
Right.
where I'm at is
Yeah,
very small.
yeah, it probably wasn't. I mean, it couldn't have been as bad back when my pops did it because we're talking like probably mid to late '60s, something like that. But he said,
Okay.
yeah, because there were riots. You know that LA had some really bad riots in the '60s. Were they Compton riots or Watts in the
Yeah,
like
I'm not
six?
sure. I know what you're talking about. I don't know
Okay,
why that happened, but
I think it was
I
'68. It was
the
the
LA
'68
riots.
riots. Yeah, the LA riots. There were two sets of them. A big one in '68 and then a big one in '92. So my dad told me in '68 the reason that the blacks all rioted, he says, because none of them had TVs in their houses, and so they got out and they rioted and looted so that everybody could get a TV and a VCR or whatever. And he said that in '92 they rioted again because they needed to replace all their TVs. The TVs were getting too old. So that's that's why they fucking rioted. They needed new toaster ovens for their houses.
I mean, yeah. I was gonna say like my dad when he was a lieutenant, he was um he was in charge of the gang unit
Right.
because
Oh
in the
yeah.
prisons there's a lot of like gang members and stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's
like the
gnarly.
prison that he was at, there was like people from all over the place. Like it wasn't just because it was like a high. You ever heard of the Iceman,
The Iceman? No,
the serial
never.
killer, the Iceman?
No, I
Never
never heard of
heard
that.
of him?
What? No, what happened?
Yeah, my dad, he worked with him in the prison because he was an inmate. My dad was the corrections officer.
Was it like a Supermax or something? Sounds
Yeah,
gnarly.
dude. Yeah, this is a serious prison. This is one of the most dangerous prisons in the state, at least in the state of New Jersey. This shit's for real. Like real shit. And
Yeah, that's crazy.
but I was gonna say, like in LA, like there's a bunch of the gangs and then the drugs. The drugs is what really makes like a city real bad, honestly.
It is. Yeah, I totally agree.
And a lot of people don't know that because they don't deal with people that smoke meth or smoke crack or do heroin or shit like that. And it's
Right.
not, yeah, and like it's not like you can't really be a functioning person when you take those things. Like people, like you hear like these stories of like this person. He was like, oh, he would go in his car in the middle of the woods and he had this little kit and he would shoot up heroin and then he'd go home and everything would be fine. Like, no, nigga, that's not how it is, bro. Like, your life is ruined. You can't keep a job. You become homeless. The people that you
Right.
surround yourself with are fucking sketchy. They're doing crime. They're known by the police as losers and blah, blah, blah. They have a
Yeah.
record. Shit like that, you know?
Cops utilize a lot of them too, like as informants. They'll let them back out there to buy some drugs and dial in on the big guys and stuff like that.
Well,
It's a
yeah, I
whole,
know you
it's a whole
haven't
scene.
been you haven't been in the United States and stayed here for a while, but
Right.
you realize that they don't even hold, like these people will commit crimes and they're out the next day. A lot of
Right.
them.
I've
They
heard about
make
that.
bail
Yeah.
and they don't give a fuck. They don't care. If someone like it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, that's and who wants to deal with that as a cop when the
Right.
system's like that?
Well, at the same time, the system is looking to bust down guys that actually have something. You know, you got a house and two cars or something. They're going to throw you in for the long run because then they have the opportunity to seize your things and sell them.
Who
But if you're,
cops?
yeah, the cop, absolutely, court sanctioned auto theft, court sanctioned fucking house theft. If you don't have anything, they're just going to let you right back out. They ain't got no fucking reason to keep you in there. But if you got a, you got a pad, you got money in the bank, they're going to throw the book at you.
Okay, yeah. Let me tell you this story. So, my father, he started out at Trenton State Prison, which is like maximum high security, very, very bad people go there. Murderers, rapists, shit like that. People doing 20, 30 years. And like, in a prison, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on and they check the cells, right? For like contraband. Like really like when my father would go in there, he'd be looking for like knives and shit. You know what I mean? And shanks, because if he didn't have like that could kill him, right? So
Right, right,
there was like a real incentive for him to like get these fucking weapons out of the thing, even if they weren't meant for him or whatever. And so when they would do that, they would find money and shit or drugs.
really.
Oh yeah. And I think one time my dad said he found like an absurd amount of money. I forget what it was, but it was like
Wow,
30,000, something
30
like that.
G's. Nice.
Something around there, $30,000, $20,000. I mean, you could make that much money in there selling anything in prison. It's it's known. It's a known fact. And
Yeah.
so my dad, I don't know what he did, but he did not take it. He said, he was like, I didn't take that shit, bro. I was like,
Would they?
why
Would
didn't you take that?
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's big money. Would they have conjugal visits for the inmates?
I'm not sure. I think so. I think
Did
you
they
would
have a
need.
room for like a kanji? A gal would show up and they could get in there and bust
I'm
a
not
nut.
sure. I'm not sure. I think you. I think so. Yeah. I'm not sure though.
Because I've heard that dudes in prison will write to like dating websites or something, or like to dating programs on the outside, and they get gals to come in and hook up. Like gals are looking for some D, and they'll go in there and get a kanji.
Is that real? I don't think that's real.
I've heard that. I don't know. I don't
Cause
know.
think about it.
I'm just speculating.
Well, hold on. Let me finish. So anyway, people. My dad said that people like the police, like his boss or whoever, like the upper people would plant things in the cells and they would test you. But this one time, his boy found money and took it. You probably know a little bit, like the person, if they're selling drugs, if they're selling, you could sell anything in prison. But
Right.
yeah, that's just a funny story. I mean,
Cigarettes.
anything can happen in prison. They throw shit and piss at you. But anyway, back to what you were
Really?
saying,
That's
Frank.
gnarly.
Frank, you don't know that?
No, those dudes are acting like fucking monkeys, huh?
Oh my, listen, listen.
Do you,
They
do you
what
think do you
what
think that Queen
they
Stephen
put
has
shit
done
in. Yeah,
prison
I don't
time?
know. I hope not. I hope not. I mean, if you do that to an officer in prison, they'll fuck you
Yeah,
up.
I bet.
You'll get fucked up. And then but nowadays they have cameras. They got fucking
Right.
cameras They got cameras on you. They got cameras everywhere. So now they can't drag them out the cell and beat the shit out of them anymore like they used to.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, they could turn off the camera too, though. They did that with
There's too
Epstein, right?
many. There's too
Too
many.
many. Yeah.
And then there's like all these other procedures and shit. Someone in my city, like the chief, is getting in trouble. The chief in Trenton or some high up guy got in trouble because they're out there doing their job. You know, are they harassing a little bit? Probably. But they're in the heart of the most dangerous city in the fucking country. And they're trying to get all the guns and drugs and gangs off the street as best as they can. And
Yeah.
they're gonna smack some monkeys around a little bit in order to fulfill that mission. So that's another reason why I wouldn't want to be a cop, and that's why my dad wanted to leave so bad as well, is because it's just not the same, and it's hard. It's like harder for the cops to protect themselves.
Right.
But as far as the conjugal visits, think about it. Think about it. The average woman, right? I don't even know. Is there more men? I think there's more men on Earth than there is women.
Yeah. In most societies, actually, the women outnumber the men. I think in the U.S., it's like 52% women to 48% men. But here in China, there's 120 men for every 100 women. So there's more men. China's like the only country like that, though. Most countries, the women outnumber the men, according to statistics.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's kind of hard for me to believe that as well because
Yeah, it might not be 100% accurate.
no. In China, I believe that because I heard that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in USA, it just seems like, you know what? There might be deeper insights to those statistics that we're not looking at.
Right.
That we might not even. You might not. I don't think people would even be able to put that type of because into numbers. It's because I think the women. There's
Well,
something going on. There's
there,
something going on.
there's definitely more men in prison than women. I think men commit like something like 75% of all crimes. And of that, like I think 90% of it is committed by a certain ethnic group, which we will not mention. But yeah,
My uncle told me that 1 in 4 people will be single for their entire lives.
is that right?
Something like that. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know if it's the internet or if it's women that are. I don't know. It's so hard to explain. It's very difficult to explain because not every woman is dateable or
Yeah,
whatever.
not every man is interested in dating either necessarily. And I think there's been a bigger shift in recent times with the internet and with like the culture. Like a lot more men, American men, are not willing to take the risk of getting involved, especially in marriage, because they have so much to lose.
Oh yeah, I'll never get married. I guess that's another. See how these statistics can be very flawed.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
because you're not
definitely.
married doesn't mean I encourage every. I think we should all stop marriage. I want to see how that would play out. I don't like think about it. If we all stop, if there was like how like it's like the red pill people or like the passport bros or
Yeah,
like Andrew Tate. Like, what
right.
if we started like a subsector movement where we were like, don't get married, let's see what happens, right? And then what would probably happen was the government would have to respond to that, resulting in them doing like campaigns and advertisements and shit like that, like really trying to push society forward to get married. But I don't know what would be the incentive behind that, or um, I wanted to make this one point real quick
Yeah, do it.
because we have all these like LGBTQ, all lives matter, or like not all lives matter, the sexual things like trans and LGBTQ. You would think since there's like so much more of an emphasis on sexuality and things like that, that it would be more rampant, but it's not. It's the opposite for some reason. So
Right.
like, and I feel like people don't really talk about that, where it's like the whole LGBTQ thing, like you're in on the surface you think that you're pushing unity, but in reality it's separating us as individuals.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's the whole strategy of the entire thing is just to create more division among people. Barefoot's chiming in. Good to see you, Barefoot. How's it going, man? He says, "What's up, Frank? What's up, King? King of Death." He's got the stats there for us. He says there's 49.6% female to 50.24% male in the United States as of 2024. Okay, so there are more men than women in the US. I find that interesting.
Yeah, it seems like that. It definitely seems like that. And like the amount of women that are, and like what does that mean? Like women like 18 and up, or
Right, yeah, the
these
demographics, you'd have to get the demographics.
these stats are fucked up.
It's usually like a 20-40-20 spread, something like that. So you got like 20 to 30% are under 18. Then like 40% of the people are going to be from like 20 to 60. And then you'll
Yeah.
have like another 20% in the geriatric category. Yeah, it surprises me how close it is too. Barefoot says he's surprised by that.
Yeah, so the whole point of that original thought was just because you were talking about like how women will like want to, I guess, whatever, conjugal visits. But my point
And
was like,
that's the way I've heard it too. Like I had a brother who was very interested in prison life for some reason. He's yeah, a lot older than me, but he had a roofing company and he would hire a lot of ex-cons to do different construction jobs. So he did like roofing and construction. Roofing was the main part of it, but they also did like drywall and some plumbing, electric, and stuff like that. Um, but he would always hire ex-cons, and it seems like there were a few TV shows on in the US recently about prison life. Did you watch any of those?
yeah, yeah, there's a couple.
Lockdown or something, right?
Beyond Scared Straight,
Okay.
uh, and then like yeah, they'd go undercover in the prison as a prisoner.
Yeah, so he knew a lot about that, man, and he never went to prison, but lockup, that was what it was called. Yeah. So a lot of people watched that, and yeah, there was a whole thing about, guys, because guys are in prison and they got a lot of pent up energy and they're always working out all the time. So some of them get into really good physical shape and they would write out letters two gals, and then the gals would come visit them and like even get married and stuff and have kids. But they'd get kanjis like, I don't know, like once a week maybe or something. Or that's probably not. That's probably like a medium security prison, though. You know, it's not like, I wouldn't imagine like a max or a super max would have that, but maybe lock up.
I was just saying, like, the women have so many more options than men, and it's
Right.
like, I don't know, like maybe they want
Well, you got to
that
think about
type
the psychology behind it. It's the man's behind bars. He's probably not getting out. They just, you know, they got a place to go and get some once in a while. They don't have to worry about the guy. They don't have to worry about taking care of him or nothing. Because a lot of women out there these days, they're taking care of the man. You know, the man is unemployed and he's just sitting on the couch watching TV, drinking beer. So if he's in lockup, then yeah, she can still get the D when she needs it, but then doesn't have to deal with all the horse shit surrounding it.
Yeah, I feel like women have it so much easier
Yeah.
when they think they have
Somehow.
it
Well,
more difficult. But it's like, I think about it like this.
yeah.
Like when I was in college, right? My major, funny enough, my major was like 70% women.
Right.
So like the men were the minority. And one day, like my class, like we had like this big, I don't even know what you would call it. It was like everyone in my major met up in the auditorium or whatever the fuck, and they had speakers come in. There were like graduates from our program who down the line got a job, blah blah blah. All of them were like graduated like 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Anyway, but they're like just talking about their experience or whatever. And I'm looking at these bitches, bad bitches. I'm like, fuck. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, bitch, I'd hire you too if I was the nigga hiring. Because look at you. Why the fuck would I not want to see you every day? And so the next day we had we had regular classes and shit. And we were like talking, like me and the class. But we were like split up in our group projects and our group partner, or project groups rather. And it was like 11 girls and it was just me. And it was the teacher, and we were all talking about blah, blah, blah. And the girls were like, I'm nervous because I don't know if I'm going to get a job, blah, blah, blah. Right. And I told them, I'm like, yo, listen, I didn't say it like this, but I was like, you're a pretty girl. Like all you have to do is go in there. First, you have to get the interview. Once you get the interview, you just have to go in there, be a little charming, act like you have some competency, and then you got the job. You're a pretty bitch. It's easy. For me, I look like I'm fucking 18 years old. I sound like I'm 18 years old. I have no experience. The guy has no interest. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see the angle here?
Yeah, I do. I don't know though. Like it really depends on the job and like the hiring manager and the situation. I know it's shifting more in that direction now, but from my own experience, like I have found the opposite to be true in the working world. Like a young man, as long as he's got his shit together, can go in there and show enthusiasm and capability or whatever, and get a job, because gals are going to end up having more problems and giving a manager more problems than a dude will. For one thing, every month, like clockwork, she's going to have like 3 to 5 days where she feels like shit and just doesn't want to fucking come in. That's number one. And I think about this as a hiring manager. I was in HR, and I've been in HR for like the last 3 going on 4 years now. And I mean, I'm not supposed to apply these thinking strategies to hiring, but I do. I think about it. And then number 2 is if she gets pregnant, then she's out of the workforce for a year, 6 months to a year. That's another thing. So HR, they ask three questions. They ask, number one, can this person do the job? And if they can, then will they do the job and for how much? And then if they can do the job and we're willing to pay them the amount they want, then how long will they do the job for? Right. So those are the three central questions. So with a man, it's always going to be, can this person, lift and move around 50 pounds, right? In any job, you're going to have to lift things. And that's always going to be physically easier for a man to do without complaining. And then the second thing is the amount of money. Men will typically hustle for less money over more hours, right? And then the third one is for how long. And so a man never runs the risk of getting pregnant. So I take those things into consideration as being in HR. And I think a lot of managers do. But you're right in that if you get male managers and they're looking to staff positions like public relations where they want a good looking girl, or it's some kinds of sales where they think that it would be advantageous to have a female in that position. But I would think in general, I think men have the advantage. I don't know. What do you think? Tell me your feedback.
No, that was good. That was a good point. I mean, obviously, since you hire people, you have a better perspective rather than me trying to get hired. I think a big part of it is two things. Actually getting the interview, one. I never had a problem with interviews. I mean, I'm really good at interviews, I think, or I don't know. I just like to talk to people. People really don't even really like to talk back either, which is like funny. But I like to talk. I like meeting new people. And I like having interesting conversations. So like interviews are easy for me. And then like I just talk about myself. Like I just talk about my life. I'm like, yeah, I went to school and I did this and I was in that and blah blah blah. And I really like fitness and hanging out with friends and sports and blah blah blah. But anyway, but getting the interview is very hard, and like you need like all this like for the jobs that I want, like you need like experience, but I don't really know how to get experience. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so I feel like in cases like that, the girl has a more like advantage. I feel like, I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying?
Good. Yeah. One thing I don't know, that I've done with like work experience, if you don't have experience in a particular field that you want to get into, if you go and you talk to the management and tell them that you're interested in getting the job, and like with me, when I go out job hunting, this is the way I always handled it. I had a buddy, we were in college and we competed. He always thought he had a series of things that he did and he tried to tell me to do them that particular way. And so I think I told you about this story once. We got into a competition that who would get a job faster using their techniques and who would get a higher paying job. Ultimately, I won the competition, but my basic strategy is to go into every business. Like, for example, if there's a mall or something you want to get into retail, you go during the workday week, looking good, fresh shower, nice clothes, Monday through Friday, going on a Monday or Tuesday or whatever, so you could show them that you're at the beginning of the work week looking for jobs, and just go into every single business and ask to talk to the hiring manager. Say, hey, can I talk to the hiring manager? If so, where are they? Who are they? When are they going to be here? That kind of thing. And do that with every single business. And then when you get a chance to talk to hiring managers, you say, hey, I'm interested in finding a job, and I want to know if your company's hiring, and if so, what positions are available and what they pay and stuff like that. And if you show that kind of enthusiasm, say you hit like, I don't know how many available businesses that you would be interested in working in your community, but if you hit like 20 or something in a day, you're going to get leads. You probably get 2 or 3 leads. And if in a week you hit 50 businesses, you're going to have a job within 2 weeks, man. And I know you don't necessarily have to get it. Oh, what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, if they say, hey, we're looking for someone with experience in the field and you don't have the experience, then if you show enthusiasm and interest in learning and say, hey, well, maybe there's a more entry level position that I could secure while I get the experience that I would need to transfer into a position like that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, like honestly, like I live in a like near a big city. I live near a couple big cities, but like I live like near this one small city. And I have a black friend who's Harvard educated and says they just apply for jobs or to be honest, like white candidates, but the whites get hired. Shit.
Yeah, I thought we could look at that for a second. It's an interesting one that Barefoot brings up. He says that racial bias is real in our country. He's got a black friend who's Harvard educated and says he's applied for jobs where his education is beyond the other white candidates, but the whites get hired. Yeah, again, that's circumstantial. Like you could say that bias runs through the country, but it's going to vary from place to place and region to region. Like Barefoot, I was recently, I've been to Southern California twice looking for work to try to move my family back to the US. And 2017 was one time and 2019 was another. And every business, nearly every business I went in and talked to HR or talked to hiring managers in Southern California would almost tell me straight up, I'm talking like 8 out of 10 of them. They said, why are you even applying for this job? You're a cis white male and you have no place in the workforce here. And they told me that all over Southern California, just constant racial discrimination against white people. They will just not hire white cis males in Southern California anymore. So I know that's true for black folks, but it's also just as true for white folks.
In Southern California.
That's right, baby. New York, too.
I just
Major
wanted to say
metropolitan
this.
areas. Yeah, what? Go ahead.
For some reason, I keep on having, and they're different dreams, but I'm always on a fucking airplane, bro. And every time, I'm always dead ass convinced it's real, and I'm actually traveling. Like it's weird, but anyway.
And to jump back just to this for a second, and I'll get to your plane dream in a second. The other thing is, like a lot of people will point out and they'll say, "Oh, racism is rampant in our country, in the United States." I've lived in the U.S., I've lived in Mexico, down in Baja California, and I've lived in China, and I've visited lots of other countries in Asia. Right, as far as I can tell, the U.S. is the least racist country in the world. China, literally, you have like one spectrum of jobs you can have as a foreigner. And for me, as like a white Caucasian, I can be basically an English teacher and very few other jobs. There is more racial discrimination in this particular country that I live in right here than any other country I've ever entered into. But the same is true in Mexico too. You go down to Mexico and you try to enter into their workforce, it ain't going to happen. It won't be done. The U.S. is the low ground for all countries in the world. You try to tell me a country that has less racism than the United States, you can't find it. Every country in the world the Western world are the only ones that have opened their doors to immigrants. The rest of the entire globe is on lockdown. And if you're not a part of their homogenous racial ethnic base, you've got no chance at advancing in their society. So that's just facts.
Yeah, I know. That's funny. I said that same shit when I was like 14, because I went to Italy when I was 14 and like France, and I was like, yo, they're mad racist over here. Like the USA, like we're chill, like but I was gonna say, like, if you're in the USA and you're black and you're ghetto as fuck, then you're not gonna get a good job. Like, even if you're white and you're ghetto as fuck, people aren't gonna like you. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's bias everywhere. I'm just pointing out that the U.S. is the only one that's tried to alleviate it. The U.S. is the only one that tried to eliminate slavery in the world, and somehow the UK too with the Magna Carta. But the US is the great experiment of democracy and equality for all people. And for people, I'm just saying, for people to criticize the US for even trying to do the experiment, which is more than any other country has done. I mean, imagine going to Russia as an American, as an immigrant, and trying to work your way up through the echelons of the workforce. It would never happen. You would be totally ostracized. We've got Chinese people in California Senate. We've got Chinese people as mayors of towns. You could never be a mayor in China. You could never enter into Chinese government. So the American people sometimes are so xenophobic or xenocentric that they don't understand that the U.S. is doing the best job of any country on earth. And so you got to give credit where credit is due. And sure, there's problems. Sure, it's hard to work through. But for a country that was, 85% homogeneously Caucasian to open its doors and drop its numbers down to something like around 50 to 60% now white folks, as opposed to the rest of the other folks. No one else on earth has ever done that, and it'll never be done again. And the U.S. probably will not survive as the country that it is, having done so. Now, let's get back into that airplane dream. What was going on with that? So, why are you having this dream? You're having
I
a recurring
rewatched
dream?
the streams and I noticed that I say random shit.
No, yeah, it's good. You can. Do you ever eat at Chipotle?
I haven't. That's the one place I've never eaten.
Really? So, what do you think is going
good or
on
bad?
with Chipotle? Oh, I don't know. I've never really eaten there either. I know that. Do you know what a Chipotle is?
Yeah, it's like a chain restaurant. It's nothing.
Yeah, I know,
special.
but do you know what the word Chipotle means? Like, not the restaurant itself, but
Chipotle? Nah.
Chipotle. Okay, so it's a jalapeno pepper that has grown to maturity, and then starts to ripen too much on the pepper bush. I learned about this by watching a Chipotle commercial recently. So it says that Chipotle customers right now are rioting over the bad news for restaurants, and some are saying they're never going again. What do you think about that? What do you think think's going on? What is the upsetting announcement made by Chipotle? Do you have any idea? Can you see that news headline?
I'm scared to answer.
Barefoot says he likes Chipotle. He thinks it's way better than Taco Bell. Have you guys ever had Del Taco?
Chipotle and Taco Bell are they're like two different things, but like Chipotle or like Taco Bell and Del Taco, they're more in the same.
They're closer, right?
Yeah, they're both fast food restaurants. Chipotle isn't really fast food at all.
It's a dine-in restaurant, right?
Yeah, it's very casual, like.
But they've got like a hostess, and they'll sit you at a table and that kind of thing.
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, really?
Holy fuck! Holy
What's up?
shit!
What happened?
This big ass bird just fucking flew by. It was like probably 5 feet in wingspan.
Did it take a shit on your window?
No, I don't know what it was. It was like a vulture. But
a hawk maybe?
So no, Chipotle is like this, Frank. Like you walk in. I've never been there, but like there's this other place that I go to that it's like they're the same theme. It's called Moe's.
Moe's, okay. Yeah, tell me about it.
So basically you walk in and then like up front and you could sit yourself down and then it's like McDonald's. You sit yourself down and like there's no fucking waitress or host at McDonald's. This guy's saying they are all fast food.
Yeah, go ahead. Just continue. Don't worry about the comments.
There's some similarities, but there's some differences because they just serve so like it's just like McDonald's kind of where like you walk up to the desk, to the counter, and there's like food, like rice, beans, chicken, steak, toppings, right? And you can get a variety of things. You can get tacos, you can get a bowl, you can get a burrito, quesadilla, shit like that. And that's pretty much it. And then you order and you could sit down and eat, or but there's no like waitress or host or anything.
Okay.
So I guess, is he right? I guess he'd be right. I guess, is it fast food? Maybe.
It's all kind. I think these days a lot of those, even the dine-in restaurants, are to some extent they're being considered fast food because they use their kitchen for like heating food, but they don't genuinely like cook food. So they have
Oh
like a
no, they
central.
cook food back there. They cook the chicken and the steak and the
Do
beef.
they? Yeah. So some of them
Yeah,
don't. Some are just microwaving it now. So that's part of the problem. Okay, so what do you think?
maybe you're
it,
right.
and, and and again, you got to think this is like really clickbaity title. I don't think anyone is actually rioting. So anything that's on like the Yahoo page or Parade, these aren't news sources. These are like entertainment news. So people are complaining they're never going again, right? They're trying to hook you in and tease you into the article. I don't think people are really rioting. What do you think's going on? It says much like everything else during inflation, it looks like Chipotle's prices are rising, and fans of the Mexican food inspired eatery are not holding their tongues when it comes to expressing how they feel about the changes. According to a new report, it'll cost lovers of the food chain a bit more before they get their hands on their favorite burrito or bowl. Social media users are calling the move corporate greed. So their prices are going up.
Well, I think I know why that the price is going up. It's
Really? Why?
Well, because you see, when you raise the price, more white people come in
Yeah,
and
you think
less
so?
black people. So you want, and in a business, that's what you want. You want less black. You want more white because that's where the money is, right? Because I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't,
I,
I don't, I don't know where you're going with that. Yeah.
I
Um,
no, but I mean, and I listen.
yeah. Barefoot
Who
says that
gives a fuck?
everybody's jacking up their prices right now. So that's interesting too, because the
It's
whole
because
big claim,
Biden right there.
yeah, the big whole claim was that if Trump became president, all the prices would come back down. So, well, he's not in office yet, so maybe there's still time. Let's find out a little bit more about what's going on. It says there's bad news for Chipotle customers. The burrito chain announced Wednesday that it has raised prices by about 2%. The company says inflation is to blame. Key ingredients such as dairy, beef, and avocado have been more expensive this year, impacting the margins for restaurant operators nationwide. A 2% increase. There you go. And here's the girl. She's the CEO of Chipotle. No, I don't think so. I don't know who that
Who
is.
cares? What the fuck?
Yeah.
If you're black, you care. That's what. I'm sorry. I'm
Right.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
sorry.
you might. This girl says she spent $40 the other day and we're shocked and they're never going again. How much? So
He said
King of Hell.
right.
Yeah, King of Hell. What's it like there in Hell? Like, when was the last time you got fast food, and what did you pay
Yeah.
for
So in hell, we only
for a
have
fast
Burger
food
King.
dinner? Just
On
Burger
the
King,
ninth,
huh?
yeah, on the ninth layer of hell, we only have Burger King, and it's all white people that are in running it inside. So it's very
Okay.
different. It's very clean, and we only use holistic products. So yeah, and then so we only have Burger King and Wendy's.
Oh, okay. That guy knew who that girl was. He said that her name was
That's
Hoda
Yoda.
Cobb. Yeah, Yoda Cobb, and she's a news presenter. So Burger King, and what did you say? What else?
Wendy's. And
Wendy's.
Wendy's, there's the black people in the Wendy's, and then Burger King, white people.
Okay, Wendy's is actually my favorite. One of my favorite
Well,
fast
that's
food.
fine. Well, white. I'm saying the people that work there are black in Wendy's,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
then in Burger
I could
King
hang
they're
out
white. But
Wendy's.
anyone can go in there if you're
I
in
like
hell.
I like Wendy's. They got a junior bacon cheeseburger that's really good, and they have a little, like, you can get a little cup of chili, and the chili has burger meat in it. It's pretty damn good, man. I think Wendy's makes some of the better fast food burgers. California, we have In-N-Out Burger. That's a really popular one, and one called Carl's Jr. Have you ever had a Carl's Jr. hamburger? It's
No.
similar. I think it's the same franchise that in the on the East Coast they have one called Hardee's. Have you ever heard of Hardee's?
No. Oh, you mean Arby's?
No, Hardee's. Hardee. Hardee's Burger Restaurant.
Yeah, no, we don't have that in hell. We only have
No.
Burger King and Wendy's.
Okay. Yeah, Wendy's chili is killer. Lots of veggies. Really good. You eat it with crackers. So good. So
Yeah,
last
a
time,
lot of people don't realize in hell we're racist. In hell, it's racist down here,
is
and
it
it's cold.
okay?
So we're mainly racist towards black people, but we don't like white women in hell.
Okay.
So if you're a black or a white woman, it's bad for you, very bad.
What about
And
Asian women? Are Asian women allowed to
good.
drive car?
They're
Are they
good.
allowed to drive? Are they allowed to drive cars in hell?
They're good. They're good. They're good.
Barefoot says that he loves Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr. has a really good hamburger called the Western Bacon Cheeseburger. It's got an onion ring on it and Swiss cheese and barbecue sauce. It's really good. So the last
That sounds fire.
the question I'm trying to get to, no Hardee's anymore. Yeah, I think the Hardee's went bankrupt, huh? Yeah, they used to have excellent biscuits and gravy. I totally fucking remember that, having biscuits and gravy for breakfast at Hardee's. So my big question for you is, what was the last combo meal you had? Like, did you go through a drive-through? And I want to know, how much did you pay and what did you get?
So yeah, and in hell we try to be healthy. And so we don't really eat fast food in hell.
Okay.
Especially as the king of death and the founder of the ninth layer of hell.
I'm trying to get a baseline on pricing and quality and whether or not
dude,
you felt
disgusting.
satisfied.
All right. On a serious note, I haven't ate in a while. I can't even remember the last time. Like,
really?
Yeah, dude, I'm being serious. I don't even listen. All right. On a very serious note, listen, when it comes to like physicality, I'm a bit of a freak. Like the way I eat, the way I train, like the shit I do, it's just weird. Like I will go like 20 hours without eating. Like 20 hours straight, I won't eat. And then when I do, I eat like beef, tuna, like some sort of carbs. But I've been losing like a lot of weight, dude.
Have you? Okay.
Like 30 pounds, 40 pounds in the last 6 months or something like that. And then like during those, like I'm like, I don't know, I could cut like a lot of weight at one time. But to answer your question, that's such a hard question to answer. I think I get like Taco Bell. I got Taco Bell. Someone said it was ass, but it's good.
So you're in Taco Bell and you get like a Mexican pizza with extra sour cream and like a couple of gorditas and maybe a bean and beef burrito with red sauce.
It's so bad for you. Like so bad for you.
You wash it down with a Bahama Blast or a Baja Blast.
Yeah.
Is that what you get? Yeah,
don't
lie to me. Don't lie to me, devil. You tell me the fucking truth. Look, Barefoot chimed in. He said he doesn't do the combo meals because he doesn't like to drink soda. But $25 on average if he goes to Wendy's with his partner. And I said that
Jesus
2 burgers,
Christ, 25.
fries.
Who the fuck are you bringing, Queen Latifah?
Onion rings and 2 Frosties. Now, when you get a Frosty, I'm curious. Does a Frosty
Is she a
come
black
in
or a white girl? Wait a minute, Frank. You're not.
I don't know.
The right question.
Do Frosties come in chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, or are they just chocolate? Or what's the story on a Frosty?
It's only chocolate and vanilla, and I think sometimes strawberry.
Okay.
First
Yeah,
of
I'd go
all,
with chocolate. Because
Hold, wait a minute. Wait a minute,
when you
Frank. Wait a minute, dude.
when you
$25 at Wendy's is
for
I
two
don't know if
people.
that's right.
For two people, yeah. When you dip
Dude,
the onion
listen,
rings
you are
in the
here's the
chocolate
thing.
frosty, that shit is gas right there. It's fire, man. I love it.
If I don't listen, I'm not trying to be this guy. If I spend $25 on this bitch at Wendy's,
Right.
yeah, we have to have sex or some shit.
Okay.
In hell, that's the rule. In the ninth layer of hell, that's the rule. If
Is
you
it?
spend $25 at Wendy's, you could get there's like a $5 deal at Wendy's right now. You could get a fucking drink, fries, nuggets, and $25. What the fuck is this bitch eating?
You see what I'm saying?
She has to
Hardee's has essentially the same food as Carl's Jr. Like, look at it. It's got the star. It's got the same signage. And then that right there is the Western bacon cheeseburger right there. It's a cheeseburger with bacon and onion rings on it. So fucking good. So Hardee's, I think it's the same franchise as Carl's Jr. They have charbroiled thick burgers. Look at that burger right there. Are you telling me, devil? You
I would
devious
skip
little
on that, bro. On God.
You wouldn't eat that double charbroiled. That's probably got American cheese on it, onion, lettuce, tomato, pickle. Oh, that looks so good.
You know what looks so unappealing to that?
What? You tell me.
I like that one right there on the bottom.
The one with the looks like it was made in a pipe bomb or something.
Because look at there's too much bread on the other one. Look at the bread.
Oh, is that what you think it is? Yeah, you don't like the sesame bun?
I just think it's too much. Listen. Let me give
too much breading.
Let me give some pimp advice, bro.
Okay.
Let me give
Lay
some
it down.
pimp advice.
Tell me what's up.
For Frank, like, this is for young men.
Okay.
For people like Frank, like, you don't need to use this type of shit. You're a grown man. You have a house. You have a career. You have kids. You know, you have money in the bank. You got all types of shit. That could attract a female. But for me, you know what? I start saying, like, I'm like, ew, Wendy's, that's gross. Like, you eat that, and you know, you kind of you want her to feel bad about eating Wendy's, like what? And then she's like, what's wrong with Wendy's? Like, right? And then you're like, I'm going to the gym. Bye. He's like, oh my, he's going to the gym again? It's already like the 5th time this week he's going to the gym again. Yeah. And this is her internal dialogue. And then she's going to be like, well, I haven't been to the gym in years, actually, now that I think about it. You know what I'm saying? And then you meet up again, and then she's like, oh, do you want to, you go out, and you're like, oh, she's like, hey, babe, I'm real hungry, like, maybe we could stop at Taco Bell. And you're like, all right, but I'm not going to get anything, like, that's gross. And then you're like, she's like, okay, oh, I guess he's right. And then you pull up to the Taco Bell, and then, because you're the guy driving, and you're like, all right, bitch, order. And she's like, I don't know if I want it anymore. And then you're like, what? You're like, I fucking drove you here, like, order, like, come on, well, why don't you want it? She's like, I don't know, I'm just not hungry anymore. And then
you have her, whatever, and you have her order, you have her order you something.
Well, no, because you want to keep up this lie that you think that you're not like, and you know, you just kind of want to get in her subconscious mind without actually saying anything. You know what I mean?
I think if you want to get some of that puss, man, you got to stuff a burger in that mouth and go to town. Be like, baby, get that burger down. Once you get that burger down, you're gonna give me a blow job. It's gonna be delightful. I'm gonna put my
Well,
chocolate frosty all over your face.
well, then you
Barefoot's
start saying
bare.
things like this. You start going like, you're like, yeah, I
She'll be
was with
down for
this one.
that.
I was with this one girl and her
Hold on,
vagina just
real quick.
smelled really bad, and I think it was.
Oh God, don't tell me that. Real quick, I got to tell Barefoot. Barefoot, to me, that sounds about right. Like he says, a Wendy's burger, a double is $7.79, fries for $2.89, large fries, I would imagine, and 2 frosties at $3.39 a piece. And he's talking about Cincinnati. He says maybe in Cincinnati that's a little higher, but that
Go
sounds about
Bengals.
right for California prices. What do you think?
Joe Burrow.
Does that sound high to you for a couple of burgers and fries and rings?
Listen. This is what I'm trying to say to you. That's too much.
Wait a
food.
minute, yeah.
That's too much.
No, it's
food.
for 2 people. It's
Listen
for 2
to me.
people.
No.
It's plenty of food. It's
You gotta
perfect.
be.
Tell me about that stinky pussy. Let's hear more about the stinky pussy
Oh,
on that
it's just-
chick. What was going on? How do you know it was stinky? Did she like queef in the car or something? And be like, damn.
No. This is what I'm saying. You just make shit up. You just make it up in your fucking head. You just start going, yeah. I think
But you could
you're
smell
eating
it.
all
She
this
had like
Taco
a.
Bell. It's making
Oh,
your
you
pussy
think your
smell
pussy's
like
stinky?
shit.
Because
You
she
need
was
to
eating
get,
too much Taco
bitch. You
Bell.
need to get in the gym, bitch. Look at you. You're disgusting. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're letting yourself go. Look at you.
You could
Go
get
to
a
the
little.
fucking gym.
You could get a little peppermint oil and rub it in some Vaseline and then just smear it on there. It'll smell
Oh
delightful.
my god, that would make it worse, probably.
You sure? Peppermint oil is a disinfectant. Because I mean, if you're going to be going down and dining like a true warrior, getting foodie on that shit, sticking your tongue in it,
You've been married, bro.
really getting in there.
You've been married. You
You
gotta
ain't got to worry about no stinky pussy, man. Just hold your fucking nose, brother.
You gotta make the bitch insecure. You gotta make her start thinking.
No.
You gotta
You
want
got
to
to stick a
improve the
burger in her
bitch.
mouth and eat that pussy like a warrior. Get in it.
Ew. No.
Oh God, yeah. You don't
Who
eat no
is
pussy.
this? Are
do
you talking? Listen, wait a minute. Bro, you do not eat out random
Yeah,
women.
you're definitely a kid, man. If you're not eating any
Random
pussy.
women?
Oh, not random women, man. I'm talking about girl that you got the game going on. You're taking her to Burger King for burgers and fries. I didn't think it was some random broad you
That's
picked
what
up
I'm
off
saying.
the
This is
street.
what you say to your girl. This is how you keep your bitch.
Right,
You gotta
Yeah,
get her.
okay.
You gotta get her. Listen, you're not trying to make her insecure. You're just trying to make her think. You know what
Take her
I'm
back to
saying?
the apartment and make her a
Make
burrito.
the bitch think a little bit. Look, you my boy just pulled. Listen, you got
Intuitive K's in the house. Hey, Intuitive K, how are you? Good to see you.
you got a burger, a fry, a soda, bitch, we gotta cut back a little bit. Bitch, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Matter of fact,
I don't
listen,
know.
I know it's 1 a.m. right now. You're a little drunk. You just ate Taco Bell, bitch. But listen, at 8 a.m., you're gonna wake the fuck up, take a shower with your unhygienic ass, and go to the fucking gym. And if not,
do you really think that's the way to
there's
get
gonna
it?
be a fucking problem. Hold up.
Okay,
Hold up.
I don't know.
Hold up. I got it.
I don't know.
I'm on. You can keep.
I don't know.
Don't say anything crazy.
Who you on the phone with?
What are you
Hold on,
doing?
who you on the
What
phone
is that?
Who you on the phone with?
No one lies.
All right, so yeah, no Carl's Jr., huh? Yeah, I always thought that was a California thing, like Carl's Jr. So I think they have some of the better food. They've got good breaded chicken wings. Again, one of my favorites is the Western bacon cheeseburger. It seems like a lot of them, but see, it has the same star and it's got the same tagline: char grilled burgers, right? California's best burgers. You can see it here. That right there, that's a picture of the Western bacon cheeseburger. That's the Carl's Jr. regular burger, right? They're playing on the Big Mac. So I haven't had one in a while, but I did have one last time I was back in California. There's the Philly cheesesteak. Is that what that is? They also have a Swiss mushroom burger. That's another one of my favorites occasionally. I won't get the Swiss bacon or the Swiss mushroom every time, but I will get it occasionally. Probably like every third or fourth time I go to get a burger, I would definitely get a mushroom Swiss. What is Swiss mushroom burger, right? Are you okay, King of Death? What's going on over there, man? Unmute Mike.
Yo.
It sounded like you were getting harassed by a vagrant. Was some homeless dude harassing you in your car?
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Okay.
I'm at the gas station.
Yeah. He's trying to get a little extra money off you so he can get a burger?
No, this guy's fucking loaded.
It's like, why don't you kick me down a $5, homie, so I can go get myself a burger? You gassing up?
No.
All right, I'm getting a little feedback from you. I'll let you get your gas. It sounds like King of Death is pumping his gas. They're everywhere here, Intuitive K. Intuitive K, where are you hailing in from? She says they're always there. Mike goes there for his burgers. Yeah, I haven't had a Carl's Jr. in a while either, but they don't have them in China. We've got like a second-rate Taco Bell. It's not good at all. We got Shake Shack now. Shake Shack got here a couple of years ago. We've got of course, we've got both McDonald's and Burger King. McDonald's is far superior to Burger King here in China. Five Guys. Oh God, Five Guys. Last time I was home, I had a Five Guys. You know, on the Five Guys burgers, if you tell them you want your fries extra crispy, they'll cook them a little bit longer, and they're way better. Because the one thing I always didn't really like about Five Guys is I always felt like their fries were soggy. And most people prefer their Five Guys fries a little undercooked because they're just softer, they're easier to eat or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe it's a California thing. But I always ask them to make my fries extra crispy. All right, King of Death dropped out of the chat, guys. He was pumping gas. He must have had something going on. I thought it sounded like a homeless dude was harassing him. Some vagrant assaulted him at the gas station. Does Carl's Jr. have fry sauce? I don't know. Maybe. It seems like they always had a lot of different kind of sauces with their burgers. Again, things have changed a lot. Like, I'm drawing on all of my memories of Carl's Jr. from like over 20 years ago. You guys know that I've been in China for 20 years now. And yeah, so I was referencing my memories from a kid because we had one at the intersection just south of my house where I grew up in LA. And I would go there a lot as a kid. Their chicken tenders are good. Yeah, if we're gonna talk chicken tenders, man, Chick-fil-A, right? I mean, come on. I know some people have a beef with Chick-fil-A because of something that happened with them recently or whatever. But good God in heaven, man, their crispy chicken sandwich and their chicken tenders are so freaking good, man. Let's have a look at this. I don't know what they're doing with that fucking chicken, but that stuff is just divine. It's so decadent. I mean, that's like a gourmet chicken sandwich right there. It's just the best thing I've ever. I don't like the grilled one. I like the fried one. There's something wrong with how good those motherfuckers taste. Yeah, there's a really nice picture of one. I'm not real big into the waffle fries, but if I do eat waffle fries, for some reason, I always have to get barbecue sauce with them. I always feel like waffle fries go way better with barbecue sauce. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me see what we got going on here. You said something about the fry sauce, that it was fire. Does Carl's Jr. have fry sauce? Da 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 da. Okay. So Barefoot says, my buddy Mike turned me onto the fry sauce. It's yummy. Frank, you should look it up. I make it myself since stores don't carry it. What is it? What is fry sauce? Is that like a mixture of mayonnaise and ketchup with some horseradish or something? I haven't had a Red Bull yet for this combo. Yeah, Intuitive K, that was my homeboy, Free Gift from God. He's a guy out in New Jersey, and he calls in sometimes, and he always has to like pretend to be like really racist. I don't know why, but he likes to do that, and he always likes to come up with some clever and interesting name, like King of Hell, King of Death. Barefoot, you can't buy fry sauce at Kroger. I buy it there all the time. Oh, you can. You can buy fry sauce there. Oh, you eat waffle fries with ranch? Huh. I'm thinking about that right now, and I don't know. Really? Maybe. I would try it. For some reason, I've always got to have barbecue with them. But they might go good with ranch. I'll take that into consideration next time I get waffle fries. Barefoot making sliders with tater tots tonight. Nice. Sliders is when you use like those little Hawaiian buns, right? Those really soft, like kind of sweet buns, and then make like a big like plate of them and then cut them up. I don't know. I know they have sliders in the States, but and Blue Frog makes good sliders. All right, Barefoot says that his Kroger had it one time and never again. You guys got to tell me about the fry sauce. What's up with that? What's in that? Love some tater tots. Yeah, did you guys ever watch Bob's Burgers? Like a animated cartoon TV series. In that, the son who plays music, he wrote a song about tater tots with legs. I forgot how it went, but it's so funny. I watched some of the most random shit in China because, there's nothing else to do. No, there's a lot to do. That's wrong. I put ranch on almost everything. Addiction is real. Yeah, I hear you. I'm not big on ranch. Like, I used to love ranch a lot, like on a chicken salad when I was younger. But one time I was working a summer. I was in northern Alabama, of all places, and I was attending some university courses there. And I got a job, like a part-time job in a 5-star restaurant called the Emerald Coast. And they made a Caesar salad there that was like actually made with anchovies and whatever that kind of cheese is. I don't know if it's Parmesan, something like that, but a big slice of cheese on top with anchovies on top of that. And the Caesar sauce they made for that salad was so fucking unreal. I swear to God, it had like opium in it or something. It was so good. And eating that salad was like the most orgasmic experience. And I would have a small side salad, Caesar salad, with like a half club sandwich, like every day for lunch when I worked there. I had seems like I had the afternoon to evening shift, and it was kind of a slow shift. And so every time I came in, I could get like a sandwich and a side salad for cheap. It was like, I still had to pay for it, but it was like 50% off or something. But it was a full-on 5-star restaurant. They had some cool early bird special meals and stuff. But after that, I never went back to ranch. I always stuck with Caesar salad. No, nobody ever lived up to that Caesar salad again. Like, that was the best Caesar dressing I'd ever had. But for some reason, I couldn't go back to ranch after having such a delightful Caesar dressing. Went to an Italian restaurant downtown not too long ago. They made the Caesar dressing table side. It was amazing. Yeah, that's really good. That's good. I think they might have done that there too, but I can't remember clearly. We're talking like 30 years ago, but Doesn't seem like they did, but they did make a damn fine Caesar salad dressing. And I enjoyed the anchovies too. They put two, or not a bunch, but like 2, 3, 4, or 5 of them or something on top, like a block of cheese on top of the. Yeah, I just ate. I had like 5 burritos right before I got on here. I took some olive oil and then sauteed some red onions, and then mixed in some boiled beans that I have, like pinto kidney beans, and mashed it down into a refried bean. And then I made some ground beef into like a kind of taco style meat with like peppers, and then put a little water on it and sauteed it down with a broth. And then I put all that together with some really good white cheddar cheese and made beef and bean burritos, and put some pickled jalapenos on them. And my favorite salsa picante is by the brand Tapatio. Do you ever eat Tapatio salsa picante hot sauce? So good, man. So good. I used to use either like Louisiana hot sauce or Tabasco, but Tabasco's a little bit too sour, and then Louisiana's a little bit too spicy for me. And so for some reason, like Tapatio is the perfect medium between sour and spicy. Tapatio salsa picante. Yeah, so good. So good. And then I washed it down with a cherry Coke, and I put frozen cherries in my cherry Coke. I was going to put whiskey in my cherry Coke too, but I didn't because I got to work tomorrow. But I don't have to work the first 2 classes tomorrow, so I don't actually have to go in until like 10:30, and so that's why I'm kind of staying up late tonight. But I do have to roll on out the door, man. I really got to kick it. I was only planning to go for an hour, and I was hoping to see if anybody dropped by, have a little chit chat, and say hello to everyone. But good to see you, Barefoot. Thanks for stopping by, man. I really appreciate the support. And thanks for interacting with, I'm not usually into the anchovies either, but on that Caesar salad, man, they were so fucking good. Thank you for that. And thanks for stopping by, Intuitive K. Good to see you again. You guys ought to get something really tasty to eat. I'm going to check to see what time it is for you guys right now in the USA. East of the Rockies, looks like you're coming in at around noon. Looks like it's almost noon, so it's about lunchtime for you guys. West of the Rockies, California is 10 till 10 till 11 in Denver, 10 till 12 in Memphis, Tennessee. And so it's probably like either noon or 1 o'clock in your part of the world right now. Yeah, 12:50. Okay, cool. Yeah, probably lunchtime then. So good to see everyone out in the chat. Y'all keep on keeping on. Keep doing good magic. I will give a shout out to everyone. Free gift from God. Good seeing you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Barefoot, good seeing you. Thanks for dropping by. Intuitive K, good seeing you as well. Y'all be safe. Have a great wintry day. If you put on some music, man, I'm going to go lay down. I'll listen to your music channel. I was really enjoying that last night. In fact, I fell asleep. I didn't even remember. And I woke up. My earbud had ran out of power, so I don't even know when I stopped listening. But I will see you guys on the next transmission in the abodes of the future. Ad Astra Prospera. Bye for now.